Okay, it's recording, and I have to get this ready. So, all right, so let's start this review sheet. Use an integer to represent each situation. We state what 0 represent in that situation. 1 point each. Like I said, this was last year's quiz. So profit 300. Definitely you can use, let's see what I can write here, plus 300. Okay, that means the profit means they made 300 after all expenses, after they paid everything. They actually put $300 in their pocket. 0 in this situation means that they did not make any money. They did not make any money, so they broke even. Okay, didn't profit from this. So 45 feet below sea level. Negative 45 will be the integer that I would use. And 0 in these situations would represent 0, would represent sea level. Okay? Went back 10 spaces, negative 10. And 0 would represent that you didn't go forward, did not go backwards, I'd say. Backwards, nor did it go forwards. Okay. Goes up 12 floors. Went up 12 floors, so plus 12. And 0 floor means you stayed at the ground floor. Means stayed at the ground floor. At the ground floor. Okay. Find the absolute value of each expression. Find the absolute value. Let me just finish this. Absolute value. It's negative 34. The absolute value is 34. Okay. The distance between negative 34 and 0 is 34. The absolute value 14 is also 14. Okay, because 14 is 14 units away from 0. The distance between 14 and 0 is 14. Here I have to take the absolute value first. Absolute value 5 is 5. Plus the absolute value negative 7, which is 7. Gives a total of 12. Absolute value negative 3 is 23. Now I can subtract and minus 10, and that gives us 13. Okay. Remember, absolute value is the distance that a particular number is away from 0. Okay. Determine if the numbers are counting, whole, integer, or rational. Name all the sets. So 5 is definitely part of the counting. Okay, it's counting. It's also a whole number. It's also an integer. And it's also rational. Okay? It's okay, instead of saying decimal and fraction, we can put the 5 over 1, which becomes a fraction. We can add a decimal, and 0, 0 becomes a decimal. So instead of saying that, we can just make it rational. Okay, because everything falls in the rational category anyway. Negative 14 is not counting. It's not whole, but it's definitely an integer. And it's rational. Negative 2.75, it's not counting, it's not a whole, it's not an integer, and it's just a rational. And negative 3 over 8, not a counting number, not a whole number, not an integer, but a rational. Okay. Let's lower this a little bit. Compare using greater than, less than, or equal. So in this case, negative 3/4. I'm going to change that. Hopefully you can see it here on the top. That's negative 0.75. And 0.56, I'm going to have to check that. Let's see, I'll check. 56 as a decimal. It'd be 0.83. Negative. Okay, so it's negative 0.75 and negative 0.3. Remember, negative. In negatives, the lower your number, the bigger you are, so this would be a greater. Second one, so this is greater. Negative 19 and 19, this is the absolute value of negative 10, this is 19. Negative 19 is 19 spaces away from 0, so that makes it equal. Negative 29 and negative 28, negative 29, negative 28. If you actually drew a number line, okay, negative 28 would be here. Negative 29 would be here. And remember I told you the number on the right is always the bigger one, so negative 29 is a smaller one. 23.45, $23.45, this is a positive number, is what compared to $23.40? Just think of it. Add a 0 here. Make it, if it makes it easier, that'd be greater. Negative 5.6 and negative 5 and 2/5. If you don't know what that is, change it. It's negative 5.4. And negative 5.6 is definitely smaller. If you put that on the number line, okay, remember if this is 0 and you're counting, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, hit negative 5, then you'll hit negative 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6. So notice that 5.6 is here, 5.4 is here. The number on the right will always be bigger, so this one, negative 5.6, is smaller. Negative 15 and positive 16, this is obviously smaller. Okay. All right. There's something. Let me just. Sorry, that was on TV. The temperature on Friday was a cold 12 degrees. So the temperature reads 12 degrees. Okay. So if anything, let me make a vertical number line. So if that's 0, and on this particular day it was 12 degrees, it's pretty cold, right? On Saturday, the temperature dropped 20, so it drops. Okay, so it drops 20. Well, to drop from 12 to 0 would be a drop of 12, right? And then to drop 20 would be another 8, so that brings us to negative 8. So that would be a drop of 20. From here all the way down here will be a drop of 20. So you're at 8 now. And then it went back up 15. So to go up 15, sorry, you're negative 8. From negative 8 to 0, it's 8. So that's 8. To go back up, that's 8. And then I'm going to go back a little bit more, 7, because I want a total of 15. So that would put me at 7 degrees. So the temperature on Sunday, 7 degrees. Okay? If you want to, let me just do it this way as well. So let's put this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here's 12. Let me just make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So you drop 20, so let's go 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this would be your drop. And that number would be, well, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. So that's your temperature on Saturday. So this was Friday. This was Saturday. And then from Saturday, it went up. Saturday went back up to 15 from Saturday to Sunday. So if you're negative 8, you're going to go back 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that's your temperature on Sunday, sorry. So it went down Friday to Saturday, and then from Saturday to Sunday, it went back up. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 degrees on Sunday. Okay. Next page. Create a number line to show 3 rational numbers that exist between negative 7 and negative 7.2. So again, I like the idea of putting 0 somewhere on this number line, just so that you know where your negatives and your positives. So if I put 0 over here, here on this side would be my positive numbers, and here on this side would be my negative. I don't need any positive numbers here, because I just don't for this particular problem. But I need negative 7, negative 7.2. So negative 1, negative 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just imagine negative 7 is about here. Negative 7, okay? And then negative 7, 7.1, 7.2. So I'm going to just exaggerate it a little bit, okay? Negative 7.2, all right? As a matter of fact, now that I know where negative 7 is, okay, make this negative 7. I'm going to expand this area over here, make it negative 7, negative 7.2. So I'm looking for 3 numbers that reside in this area between negative 7 and 7.2. So number from negative 7 to negative 7.2, hey, I have negative 7.1. Okay, so from negative 7.1, I can have negative 7.2. 0.15. I can have so many different numbers. Okay, negative 7.14, 0.13, 0.12, 0.11. So the choices here are limitless. Okay. I can put negative 7.00001, which would be right over here. I can make negative 7.0001, which is again right here too. So again, you can just make so many, create so many rational numbers, okay? Because there's an infinite number. Explain why negative 5 and 5 are opposites. Well, I'm going to use a number line to explain that. Not a straight one, apparently. There we go. Here is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5. Why are these two numbers opposites? Well, they're opposites because they're exactly, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away from 0. And this number, this integer is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away from 0. So they're on the opposite sides. One is positive, one is negative, and they're both 5 units away from 0. That's why they're called opposites. Order of the integer from least to greatest. Okay, I'm going to put that word here because usually I put it at the end. So here's where I'm going to spend my morning tomorrow. I think it's spelled this way. Apple bees. All right, so if you're there, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Least to greatest. Okay, so the least to greatest, the smallest number is negative 73. Then it comes negative 45. Then it's negative 8. Then it's 0. Then it's 5. And then it's 21. And that makes sense because if that was a number line, that's where they would be. Right? And like I said, number to your left is the smallest, second smallest, and it keeps growing as you go to the right. So that is your order from least to greatest. Write it as a fraction. So take out the sheet. You need to memorize this. Or 3 divided by 8, in this case, is 0.375. 5 over 6 is going to be 0.83 rounded. 4 over 5 is going to be 0.8 or 0.80, whichever you choose. I'm okay with that. And 3 over 7 is going to be rounded, 0.43. 2/3, 0.66666666 forever and ever, and we round it to 0.67. Let's keep it at the hundreds. And 3/4, 3/4, or 0.75. Okay, so you're gonna have to just memorize these numbers, hopefully. Complete the number line with fractional decimal values. Well, let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know it's divided into 8 parts. So it's going to be a fraction with a denominator of 8. So this is 5 and 1/8, not just 1/8. 5 and 2/8. 5 and 3/8. 5 and 4/8, or 5 and a half. 5 and 5/8. 5 and 6/8, or 5 and 3/4. 5 and 7/8. Okay, as a decimal, okay, you're gonna have to write 5 over 8. 1 over 8 equals 5.125. Okay, that's my equivalent. 2 over 8 equals 5.2425 because it's the same thing as 5 1/4 if you simplify. 3/8 equals 5.375. This one's easy. 5 and 4/8, 5 1/2, 5.5. 5 and 5/8, it's going to be 5.625. This one's going to be 5.75 because 6/8 is the same thing as 3/4. And 7/8, it's going to be 5.875. Excuse me. Okay, so there is your fractional and decimal values. Explain how to find the opposite of negative 18. Well, I know that the opposite of negative 18 is 18. Then I have to take the opposite of 18, which is negative 18. Okay. All right, because I'm asked to take two opposites in a row. So the opposite of 18 is negative 18 is 18. Then I have to take the opposite of 18, which is negative 18. Okay, is that it? Wow, that was simple. Okay, that's it for this particular video. Okay.